Continuing with the 5-year anniversary celebration for Kemp Outside, I'm right back where it started, Mistletoe State Park in Appleton, Georgia, where we decided to launch Kemp Outside, camping and fishing over spring break, about 10 days. Check it out. Hey guys, I'm Kevin with Kemp Outside, your inside source for all things outside. Well, we're back where it all started for us 5 years ago during COVID. We were out here camping. It was right at the beginning of COVID. Nobody really knew anything at the time. We got the notice while we were here that the kids weren't going back to school to finish up the school year after spring break. It was just kind of a surreal time, but it was during that time that I decided to launch Kemp Outside. Really didn't even know what I was going to do other than start a YouTube channel about camping, hiking, and fishing. And, you know, here we are 5 years later celebrating. And so I thought, what better way than to spend our spring break back here at Mistletoe State Park. I haven't been back since that time. Park looks the same. The water looks amazing. Let's go camping and fishing. You planning to go get the net?
Where's the net?
In front of the boat. Just keep your rod, keep your rod steady. Yep, keep the rod steady.
Where do you want me to be?
Right next to Brennan. I decided to start out the trip by trolling where we trolled 5 years ago and caught a bunch of striped bass. Unfortunately, we didn't catch any striped bass on this trip, but sometimes it's fun just to troll some baits out behind the boat to see what we get. In this case, we landed our first spotted bass in a place where we caught stripers 5 years ago.
Not very strong, he says. Not that strong.
Once we finally got it in the boat, we were pretty excited as it was our first fish of the trip. We had a lot more to go.
Oh, that's not far.
Yeah.
Where is this thing? There it is.
You see it?
Yeah.
All right, watch out. You got that other line.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, good. All right, bring her in.
I caught. What is?
Not a bad way to start the trip with this little spotted bass.
Yeah, fish. Definitely fish.
All right. Next, it was Delaney's turn with a nice little fish.
Bass. Huge.
Yep. All right, bring it. Get the net.
Net. I'm trying. Bring it over. Big boy. That's a nice one. That's a nice one, Dad. Oh.
All right, guys.
Merry Christmas, guys.
Yep, not bad at all. Not a monster, but we'll take it. Trolling can be a great way to help you find fish in new water. Basically, you work different depth profiles, you use different baits that dive to different depths, and in that way you can figure out where the fish are, how deep they are, how far off the points they are, whether they're in the main lake or they're up creeks or off secondary points. Basically, you can cover a lot of water really fast, which is really helpful when you're in a new place. And it doesn't hurt that the kids were having a great time. But we needed to go find some bigger ones.
Pulling that one in. He's just dragging it.
Yeah. Just reel them in.
Keep trying, little man. Keep trying. For the net?
It was fun watching the kids work together to figure out how to land fish, how to help with tending rods or using the net. They got the hang of it as we went. Unfortunately, not every fishing adventure this trip was like this one. Not a bad catch, not a bad first day. Well, we've had a great day of fishing so far. We're going to try and eat an early dinner and then get back out for some evening fishing. Let me show you what I got going on. So it's one of my usual favorites. We got pork chops, we got corn, and we got stuffing. Whew, and that lid is hot. Can't wait to eat this. So we had a pretty good day of fishing, but the wind is kicked up. We decided to not fish tonight. We got a big storm coming in, so I'm going to check the weather radar and see what we're looking like. Probably going to be pretty rough here, but we'll find out. Let me give you a little tour of the campsite, and I might have to dub over this with audio if the wind is too bad. So we'll see. Here we go. So we'll start at the back side of campsite 41, and you can see Pontoon-A-Fish there beached behind the site, and then there's our Kodiak Canvas Flexbow VX. Love that tent. That tent is amazing. And then we've got our fire pit. There's the boys' White Duck Outdoor 7x9 Proto Deluxe. They're camping in. Picnic table. There's Tiller there hanging out. There's the Kemp bus. And then we pulled out one of our old screen houses as a cook tent. So got everything set up in here. The wind's probably pretty bad, but there's our Camp Chef Everest and our Bass Pro Shops 3-burner with a griddle on top. Our dishes are out drying because we just had dinner. Of course, there's my Omni oven. I made a delicious cinnamon roll ring earlier this morning. Delicious breakfast. All right, and then we'll head this way. So really nice site. I love this site. This is site 41. I might hang a hammock from those trees later on this week. Now check out this grill. Yeah, that grill's got some problems. But, oh well. And then of course, the lake. Check that out. All right. We had a pretty good storm roll through. The good news was it went through during the middle of the night and we slept right through it. Our tents did fine. The following day we did some fishing. I had a GoPro issue and missed all the footage, but the boys had a double hookup. Ellie and Tiller were excited, as you can see. Then Delaney caught a few more fish. Some nice size spotted bass, not too big, but decent catchers. And then, of course, the dogs were not nearly as excited and decided to take a nap on the boat. And then Brendan caught up a little bit with one more fish before it was time for dinner. All in all, a pretty good day on the boat. I'm just bummed about the GoPro failure. Well, guys, after an awesome day of fishing where we caught a bunch of fish, it is time to make dinner. I'm going to be making strombolis in the Omni oven. I'm super excited. I'm also going to make a video about this so you can check this out. So let's get started. All right, guys, here it is out of the pan. Looks amazing. Time to eat. Man, guys, that stromboli was delicious, but now it's time to get in one more hour of fishing before the sun sets, and then an evening at the campsite. Check it out. How's this for a fish story? We were out trolling because casting wasn't doing very well. We had a Berkeley flicker minnow out on a rod, and 2 spotted bass hit it at the exact same time. Brennan had to fight them both in. They were fighting against each other. It was like reeling in dead weight. It was kind of funny. We couldn't figure out what he had. And here they were, 2 spotted bass. And unfortunately, for me, again, GoPro failure, I didn't get the footage. So as you can see, the sun's setting behind me. We've had a fantastic day. This is day 2. Actually, it's day 3. We got here on Friday, had a great day yesterday. Today is Sunday. We roll out next Sunday, guys. So we still have a full week. Stay tuned. We'll see you tomorrow. Well, guys, it is a cold and windy morning. It's Monday. Wind is blowing out of the west-northwest at about 10 to 15 miles an hour. Big gusts, getting blown around. I think we're just going to hang out in the tent until around noon. Maybe get some work done. The boys are just going to chill out. It's way too windy. Check this out. Tiller is not a fan of the wind at all. Ellie doesn't mind. So advice I would give to anybody who wants to do this on a regular basis or wants to go for extended trips is you're going to have bad weather days. Whether it's rain or it's just cold or windy or whatever, you're just going to have bad weather days that just aren't so fun. And so what I would really recommend is that you invest in a really good tent if you're a tent camper, because you're going to want a shelter from the foul weather, and you're going to want something that's comfortable, something that you enjoy being in, something that keeps you warm and dry. And that's why I love these canvas tents, whether it's this 10x14 Flexbo VX from Kodiak Canvas or my White Duck Outdoors tents. I've got a 10x10 and a 7x9. I love these canvas tents because they hold up to the wind. You don't have to even guy them out. I mean, they'll withstand 50-mile-an-hour winds. They're completely waterproof. You don't have to worry about getting wet. They are awesome. I absolutely love them. And then the other thing is, invest in a sleep system that works for you. So like I'm on a queen size air mattress. It's a Coleman queen size air mattress without the pump, guys. I found some without pumps. I love air mattresses that don't have built-in pumps, because all air mattresses with built-in pumps leak around the pump seal. And so you have to constantly blow them up. Plus they don't roll down and compact very easily because you've got this big tumor on the side of the air mattress that is the pump. So I like the pumpless air mattresses, and they're getting harder and harder to find, but Coleman makes one and I love it. I actually, last time they went on sale, I bought 3 of them just so I have backups. But we like a queen size air mattress. That's what we like to lay on. But whether you like cots or you like foam pads or whatever you like, make sure you have a sleep system that works for you. Make sure that you have the right sleeping bag. So we run a multiple sleeping bag system where we have a 30-degree bag, which I'm in right now, and then we also have mummy bags, and then we'll put the mummy bags inside the 30-degree square bags if we need to for extra warmth. So now all of this stuff, right, takes up space, and so you're going to want to consider that when you're packing. You need to consider your space. These Kodiak canvas tents are not small, right? But if you're going to do this, if you're going to go for long periods of time, you're going to go where you're going to have bad weather days, because you're just traveling. You're not just going to camp when it's really nice out. You're going to want really good stuff. So with that, I'm going to chill out for a while and then hope this wind dies down. Well, guys, after a windy day where we pretty much did nothing but just hang around the campground, the wind has finally died down. Beautiful sunset behind me. And we're roasting brats and hot dogs for the quintessential camping dinner. Check it out. Doesn't get much better than that. The dogs are happy. It's really quiet in the campground tonight. Barb's getting ready to make s'mores. But at least no wind. Finally. There's Delaney. And Brendan, the fisherman of the trip. They're crushing me so far. They each have 5. I only have 1. I'm going to have to get on that if I'm going to beat them this trip. What a difference a day makes, guys. Well, it is Tuesday morning and it is beautiful again. No wind. It is chilly. It's like 40 degrees this morning. I got muffins in the Omni oven. Gonna let it warm up a little bit, and then we're gonna take the boat out. We're gonna do some fishing. What a beautiful day. I absolutely love this place. I don't know if you could hear the RV behind me running its heater, but it is chilly. So let me spin the camera around, show you this gorgeous day. We're gonna eat some muffins and then go do some exploring on the water. Check it out. Let's start off with a look at our muffins. Getting closer, but not quite done. We'll come back to those in a few minutes. Let's go take a look at the boat. So we had an onshore wind yesterday and kind of blew the boat cockeyed to the shore, but I think it's okay. We should be able to back out, no problem. As you can see, these sites have a great little beach, so you can beach your boat. You do have to watch out because there are some rocks. There's an island right there. We caught 2 spotted bass just off that point right there. So that was pretty awesome. Nice little cove. And if you look just over there, there's a boat ramp. That boat ramp is too shallow for Pontoon-A-Fish. We had to go put in at a different ramp, but if you have a bass boat or a small john boat, that ramp will be just fine. I'm gonna hop on Pontoon-A-Fish a little later. My Kodiak canvas is doing awesome, as always. And I really like that little 7x9 Proto Deluxe from White Duck. It's another spring bar style tent, just from a different manufacturer. And my screen house has held up okay, other than the fact that it is definitely not waterproof, especially when we get wind and rain. So I think I'm going to add the Kodiak Canvas utility tent to my list of things to purchase. So when I'm boat camping, I have a waterproof place to store all of my camp kitchen and chairs and stuff like that. Anyway, beautiful day. All right, guys, the muffins are done. Time for breakfast. We had a great start to the morning with some fishing. Brendan caught a fish, and then I had a really, really nice spotted bass. Unfortunately, I hadn't figured out I still had a GoPro problem at this point in the trip. I did figure it out, though, eventually. This bluebird apparently doesn't like his reflection in the mirror. Cracking me up. So for all my fishing content, I use a GoPro Hero 7. It's an older GoPro. I've had it for several years now. And for the most part, I'm pretty happy with it. It does freeze up on occasion, but I've been able to shoot a lot of video. And while I want to upgrade my action cameras, they are not cheap. And so I figured I would use this one as long as I can. What I found out, though, was that I had a battery going bad. So every time I would change to this particular battery, the camera would start, I would think that it was recording, and then it would shut off without warning, and I wouldn't know it. So here I am fishing, just running my GoPro, and then the next thing I know, I switch batteries, and I put in the bad battery right before I catch 2 fish on 2 casts, and I missed it. I'm so frustrated that I did not get footage of me landing a single fish this trip, because whenever I was landing a fish, I always had that bad GoPro battery in the GoPro. And it's a GoPro branded battery, and it was one of my newest batteries for that GoPro. So I'm pretty frustrated. I'm looking at different action cameras. I'm looking at DJI. I'm looking at Insta360, trying to figure out what I'm going to do next. But now that I know not to use that bad battery, I think I'm going to get more life out of my GoPro. It's just a bummer. I'm sorry, guys, that I wasn't able to get footage of landing fish, because that is the most exciting part of fishing videos. And so here they were, the 2 fish I caught in 2 casts. The first one, not bad, nice size, fun to catch. The second one was an absolute stud. I was so excited. This one was a big fish. I enjoyed catching this one. It was right after catching those 2 fish that I realized my GoPro wasn't working, so I figured it out that it was that battery. I took some time and figured it out. And so basically just kind of want to show you guys what fishing in Clarks Hill Lake is like, right? So there are lots of little islands and points and creeks and all kinds of things that make up Clarks Hill Lake. It's an absolutely enormous lake. What I like to do is I like to fish primary and secondary points to start, and then work my way into coves and backwaters and up into creeks and things like that to try and figure out where the fish are. This is right after I caught those 2 fish, so I'm kind of fishing along this island, and I was right off the point of the island when I caught the 2 fish, but I'm kind of working my way along the bank, and I'm fishing this little blue rattle trap imitation. I don't know what brand it was, but that's what the two spotted bass hit on, was a rattle trap imitation. And I'm fishing with the Bass Pro Shops Tourney Special, which I did a review on. This is an awesome, inexpensive fishing rod. I think they're around $50. Prices have been fluctuating lately, guys. Probably with the talk of tariffs and things like that. You know, all these rods are imported from China. So I expect prices to go up. As a matter of fact, I've shot some video reviews of some fishing gear, and the prices I mentioned are no longer correct as I release the videos because the prices just went up after I shot the video. So that's great. It's one of the reasons why most of the time I don't even mention pricing, but I like to try to give people an idea of what it costs. The reel on this rod is an Abu Garcia Max Z, which is my favorite budget spinning reel. The Abu Garcia Max Z is on sale at Abu Garcia as of the making of this video for like $22. So it's a very, very affordable spinning reel, especially if you need to outfit your family. You can get a decent reel at a really, really good price. I really like these Abu Garcia Max Zs. Sure, they don't perform like my $100 and $200 spinning reels, but for $20, they are really impressive. And as you can see, I'm just fishing with it. I've fished with it for hours this trip, so I really don't mind it at all. I think it's a great fishing reel at a good price. Unfortunately, I didn't catch any more fish today. I had 5 total fish on the day for this, so I was catching up to the boys pretty well. But little did I know that as the storm fronts came in later in the week, that the fishing would get a lot tougher. After dinner, we hopped on Pontoon-A-Fish for a little bit more fishing. This one was right off the campsite. That's the island that I pointed to earlier in the video where I said we caught a couple fish. And in this instance, I'm fishing with a brand new fishing rod I've been trying out. This is the Ugly Stick Carbon Series with a Pflueger Supreme XT reel. This is a really, really nice combination. The rod retails for around $100, and the reel, I think, is in the $200 range, but I can't quite remember. But I have a review coming out on both of these. So if you're really interested in the Ugly Stick Carbon Series rod or the Pflueger Supreme XT reel, you can check those out. I think the Supreme XT is a $230 reel, if I remember correctly. What a really awesome combo. And I'm fishing a shaky head setup. And I'm new to shaky head fishing, so I'm just kind of getting used to it. I don't know that I've quite got the action down, but I have caught a couple fish doing it. And I'm using a Berkley Shaky Snake soft plastic, which I don't even think they make anymore, but I have a couple packages of them, so I'm going to run through them before I get something new. And I did have a little bit of success. I caught one fish on a Shaky Snake. Of course, didn't get it on camera because of the GoPro, but really, really enjoyed this rod. It's a 7-foot 3-inch rod. Really, really lightweight, really easy to cast. Awesome high-end setup if you're looking for something that's a little bit more money, but a little bit more performance. As the sun set, you couldn't ask for a more beautiful evening on the water. Super smooth. We're fishing this bar that juts out from land, so we're fishing over maybe anywhere from 22 to 18 feet of water. I'm throwing this white spinnerbait that I had luck on earlier. This is the third rod setup that I fished with this trip, and this is the older version of the Bass Pro Shops Tourney Special. I've had this rod probably getting close to 20 years, and it still performs really well for me. I have a new reel on it. It's another Abu Garcia Max Z. So as you can see, I do fish with a lot of budget options. These are two-piece rods, which are perfect for travel. You do give up a little bit of sensitivity and bite detection when you fish with a two-piece rod instead of a one-piece rod, but it does make up for it with portability when you're transporting things from miles and miles and miles to and from the places that you're camping and fishing. I really enjoy this rod. I kind of wish that Bass Pro continued to make the tourney special with this kind of grip. It has kind of an EVA grip and a little bit more beefy of a grip, I would say, than the current tourney special. But I do enjoy both those rods. I think they're excellent travel two-piece rods for me, and I get a lot of use out of them. Unfortunately, no fish, and as you can see with the sun setting, it was time to get back to camp pretty soon. But it's hard to beat an evening on the water like this. The next day we went to a different part of Clarks Hill Lake and tried our hand at some more fishing. It was a bright sunny day, crisp and cool, and we did not get anything. No bites. It was pretty frustrating. I decided to switch to my fourth setup that I brought for this trip. And this is a brand new rod and reel that I'm testing out, and it's the Penn Wrath 2 combo. And this is actually a saltwater rod and reel. It's a medium light action rod, 7 feet long, with a Wrath 2 3000 size spinning reel, and I think it's loaded up with 15-pound Power Pro braid. But I thought that it would be a decent rod for throwing a Screwy Louie Lures jig, and so I was working this crawfish-shaped jig along the bottom, just trying to see if I could generate some strikes. And I was really pleased with the performance of this rod. Most of the time I'm going to be using this in saltwater, but I just thought since it's brand new and I needed to get some time with it, I thought I'd bring it to Clarks Hill Lake and just work some bass with it. Guys, it really doesn't matter whether you have freshwater or saltwater setups. You can fish in either type of water with either type of combo. Just keep in mind that if you're fishing in saltwater, you want to maintain your rods and reels, make sure that they're rinsed properly after exposed to salt, and then properly oiled. In this case, I don't have to really worry about this rod and reel too much, except the fact that because we were in Georgia in the springtime, it was getting covered in pollen. You can see the pollen floating on the water, but as you can see, this rod and reel casts pretty nice. I mean, these jigs aren't light, so you can get some pretty good distance. Unfortunately, I did not get a single strike on these jigs. Look at the deer running out into the water. Look at it. See it? Swimming.
Oh yeah, that's cool. Are you getting on video?
I hope so. That was cool. So I zoomed that in as much as I could. Basically, there was a deer that ran off the island and then swam across this little channel to get to, I think it's probably part of the mainland, but it was so cool to see. Unfortunately, I didn't have a lot of zoom capability on the GoPro, so hopefully you were able to see it. You never know what you're going to see when you're out fishing. That's one of the things I love about being out in nature and wetting a line. So we hadn't had much luck casting, so we decided to go pretty far up Little Creek. Now we're doing some trolling. We just caught a nice spotted bass. We're really looking for stripers. I don't know if there's any still up here. We're marking fish on the fish finder, so we're gonna see what we can catch. Low and slow, but trolling is sometimes a lot of fun because you can catch some monster fish.
You can see the fish, Brennan. I swear, if it's another twofer, that thing's huge. What?
With all the fish we were marking on the sonar, I was hoping we were actually marking stripers. We were pretty excited when this rod went off as we trolled around this point on this island. This fish seemed to be pretty big, so we were hoping it was a striper. But, as you'll see in a minute, it was not.
This one's big. Is it one fish this time? It's one. Hurry up. This thing is huge. Get down there. What the hell is that? Hey man, do you think this strikes as new biggest? No. Got it. Done.
Alright, get it in the boat.
It is. Oh. What the hell? This thing's huge. Proud of myself. And the bubble fish.
Ended up being a pretty nice spotted bass. No stripers. Bummer. This was a good one though. Well guys, we had kind of a rough day for fishing. Only one fish today, but Brendan did catch a nice one when we were trolling. Up in Little Creek, we saw a lot of fish on the sonar, but I don't know if they were stripers or not. We did catch one nice spotted, but man, we just couldn't get them to hit. It's kind of a bummer. Tomorrow it looks like the weather's gonna be bad. We might even put the boat on the trailer tonight. Not really sure. But right now, we are doing chicken and rice for dinner. Check it out. We got the chicken on the griddle, marinated with Italian dressing. The rice is boiling, which means it's time to turn the heat down and simmer. We'll go ahead and do that. All right, and then we've got corn over here. So another good dinner, and then we've got Klondike bars for dessert. Oh baby. They forecasted wind and they were right. Check this out. The boys are trying to eat lunch. Cold SpaghettiOs. Look at this. We're hanging out in the tent in sustained 20-mile-an-hour winds. Barb's trying to keep warm while she works. Tiller says hello. Trying to see if I can get a good wind gust here. There we go. Kodiak holds up amazing in 20-mile-an-hour winds. It's not guyed out at all, it's just staked. Super solid tent. I love this thing. All right, guys, it is Friday morning. We endured about 16 to 18 hours of winds that were probably 20 miles an hour with gusts up to 40. Let's see if we have any damage. So as I come out of the tent this morning, first thing I can see is the screen house is inverted, but it's still standing, kinda. Let's see if we can just pop it up here. Hey, look at that. We are back in business. So the wind flipped over a table. It blew one of my camp stoves right off the table over there. I'm gonna have to check that, see if it's okay. Other than that though, I think we're all right, guys. So I hopped in the van real quick just to get out of the wind so you guys could hear me. I really need to get a better microphone that handles the wind. That's something I'm gonna do here in 2025. Hopefully before my summer trip. But basically, it's still blowing, guys. It's still blowing like, I don't know, the forecast says 10 miles an hour, but we're a straight shot across the lake, so there's nothing to abate the wind. So to me, it feels more like, 15 miles an hour at least. When we're out on Pontoon-A-Fish and we're running, 20 miles an hour, that's kind of what this wind feels like. And guys, it is cold this morning. It's like 40 degrees, but with that straight wind, I mean, the wind chill's got to be in the 30s. So I definitely am looking forward to it warming up. I'm definitely looking forward to this wind dying down. It's supposed to be like, 5-mile-an-hour winds and 75 degrees today. So I just have to wait. It's about 9 o'clock this morning. Sometimes this is how it is, guys. I love camping. I love being on the water and stuff like that. But sometimes the weather just makes it a challenge. I'm glad that the screen house did okay, and that it really is fine. The beautiful thing about those screen houses is that they do bend and give in the wind, so that you can just pop them right back up again. That screen house is really old too. I mean, it's a Gander Mountain Guide Series screen house. So Gander Mountain's been closed for years now, and I got it long before that. So that screen house is probably 15 years old. I'm looking to replace it. I have a couple of options that I'm considering. I'm considering the Kodiak Canvas utility tent, which is their version of a screen house. It's a 10 by 14 flex bow design with no floor and then big screens instead of doors. So really kind of cool. It has awnings on both sides. Considering that, and then also I'm considering one of the inflatables. I think Zempire is the name. My friend Stu from Little House of Beans sent me a link last night when he saw that my screen house was inside out, and he's like, join the dark side or join the revolution. I can't remember what he said, but so I'm considering those. Trying to figure out what I want to do. It's really nice to be able to set up a covered camp kitchen when you're tent camping. And when we don't have the cargo camper because we have the boat with us, it's really nice to have something that we can put everything in, like the camp kitchen, like the chairs at night, all that stuff. I really like a clean campsite. I don't like messy campsites. I don't like stuff everywhere. So having something that organizes me is really good. So I definitely think that I need a new screen house or utility tent or cook tent or something like that to organize things, especially when we're camping with the boat. But at least in terms of this trip, I'm going to, I guess, continue to use this screen house. Although the weather doesn't look promising, guys. Today, the wind forecast isn't supposed to be too bad. It's supposed to be like, 5-6 miles an hour. That should be fine out of the west, which doesn't help because that's right the direction the lake is from us. But tomorrow, the winds are supposed to be back up to be around 15 again. So I don't know, maybe I'll take it down today and then we'll just have an open kitchen. We don't have any more rain in the forecast while we're here, so that's good. I probably guess I should take it down today. That way I'm not dealing with it the rest of the time. But just kind of a bummer. Somebody commented that I don't have it tied out right, that I don't have it guyed out right. And I totally disagree. They provide guys on all four corners, and they were guyed out on all four corners. There's no trees or anything to attach it to hold it upright. In that amount of wind, nothing is going to hold that tent up. I mean, it just catches too much wind. I did add some lines to it to try and help it when it was, collapsing on that one side. But you could tie it out with all the paracord in the world, and nothing's going to stop it from collapsing when it's, facing 40-mile-an-hour wind gusts. Those screen houses really aren't made for that. So anyway, I don't care. But let's see what today brings. We're hoping to put the boat back in the water this afternoon. I'm going to wait for it to warm up a little bit. We'll put Pontoon-A-Fish back in the water and do a little bit more fishing. Hopefully we'll do some fishing tomorrow and enjoy the rest of our trip. I think now it's time to at least eat some breakfast and figure out the day. So stay tuned. We ended up getting Pontoon-A-Fish back in the water, but unfortunately we could not find fish to save our lives. I'm guessing that post that front, everything was shut down. It just got harder and harder to find fish as the week went on. Well, guys, no fish today, but we had a great time on the water. It is beautiful after all that wind. It's reached about, 65 degrees. We're about to start a fire and have dinner. But before I do that, I gotta show you what's going on right now. Out past Pontoon-A-Fish, there's a girl in an inner tube. I'll give you 3 guesses who that is, but you're only gonna need one. Yep, it's Barb. Sometimes she gets more than just her feet wet. It's only 65 degrees outside. The water temperature is about 60. You can take the girl out of Minnesota, but you can't take the Minnesota out of the girl. So guys, for dinner tonight, we are trying a new Omnia accessory. I'm pretty excited about it. Check this out. So we are doing hot dogs over the fire, but in addition to the hot dogs, we're doing tater tots. And check this out, guys. I'm running the double rack. So I've got 2 racks of tater tots going on. I'm super excited about this. This is the first time I've used it. Eric and Gustav from Omni Oven sent it to me to try it out, and I just haven't had a chance to try it out yet. So we're giving it a go. I gotta turn up the heat a little bit, which is something I almost never say in an Omni Oven. We're gonna roast those tater tots and eat them with our hot dogs. Brennan and Delaney got pudgy pies on there. I'm guessing they're the pizza variety. Yep. All right. All right, guys, time to test out those tater tots. Oh man, they look good. I think we'll take them off and have at them. So guys, if you're on the fence about that top rack and its utility, if you make French fries, tater tots, jalapeno poppers, fried mozzarella sticks, anything like that that you have frozen and then you just throw on to bake, you can do twice the amount if you have that top rack. Chicken wings, if you want to bake chicken wings. Awesome accessory. I love it. I'm super excited that the guys sent it to me and that I was able to use it this time, because when you have hungry kids, they're going to want a lot of tater tots. We could almost do a full bag of tater tots. Couldn't do quite the whole bag, so that's a little bit of a bummer, because I'm going to take home like a quarter of a bag of tater tots, or maybe a fifth of a bag. And what do you do with a fifth of a bag of tater tots? That's not enough tater tots. So anyway, I'm sure we'll eat them when we get home, but was able to do a lot, because in the past what I've had to do is I've had to do 2 or 3 rounds of tater tots to make enough. So love that top rack. Guys, we got a great fire going. The sun is setting. Beautiful night here at Mistletoe. Check it out. Got an awesome fire going. We're still making pudgy pies. Barb wanted me to let you guys know it was a 2-pound bag of tater tots. So that gives you any idea. And then, guys, look at this sunset. Let me get the camera out of the way of the lantern stand. Wow. That's beautiful. So as I said before, no fish today, and I'm guessing it's because of that front that came through. We didn't have any fish, or we only had 1 fish the day before the front. We didn't fish at all yesterday because it was blowing so hard. I thought we were going to blow away. And then today, we didn't go out until the afternoon. It was really cold this morning, and was also still a bit breezy until it died off at about 10 o'clock. So we kind of waited. So I'm hoping that our final day here tomorrow, that the fishing will be okay. We're probably going to stay closer to camp. We're not going to make any real long runs like we did yesterday. We ran all the way up into Little Creek, which is like a 10-mile run from here, which is a long way in a pontoon boat. We do about 20, 22 miles an hour. So, you know, that's about a 30-minute run. But, you know, we don't have that much gas left in the tank. We got about a half a tank of gas left. So I'm not going to do any long runs tomorrow. I'm just going to fish around here. It's supposed to get a little breezy in the afternoon. I've decided to leave the screen house up. I'm going to take my chances and then take it down Sunday morning. Other than that, guys, we are having a fantastic time. This trip is coming to an end, so we will see what tomorrow brings. But right now, I'm going to watch the sunset and sit by this fire. Well, guys, it's our final full day here. We're out on Pontoon-A-Fish, trying to stay out of the wind. It's a little breezy today, so we're going to fish some secondary points, see if we can't get a few more spotted bass before the trip is over. We've had some good luck earlier in the week. The last couple of days has either been too windy to fish or we haven't caught any. So hopefully we're going to get a few more fish. Let's see what we get. Since we were having trouble finding bass, I went back to the basics. And the basics for me is a Texas rigged weedless worm. It's what I'm used to fishing the most. It's what I feel most comfortable with. And when you're not finding fish, it's really important to fish with a bait that you're really comfortable with. Unfortunately, it didn't pan out. I think the front had something to do with it, but either way, these fish had lockjaw, and I didn't catch anything, and neither did Brendan or Delaney. It was still a beautiful time to be out on the water, and as I knew this was the last day, and you know, most of my days don't consist of me just being able to walk out of a tent and step onto a boat and go fishing. I knew I had to make the most of it and enjoy it, whether the fish were biting or not, and we sure did that. What a beautiful place to go. I am absolutely going to make this an annual thing and go back to Clarks Hill Lake, learn how to fish even better, figure out how to catch those striper, and keep landing those spotted bass. Well, guys, one of the things that I noticed was that the pontoon was listing in the water. One pontoon was way deeper in the water than the other. So I've been concerned about that. We put it on the trailer, and this is what we found. I have a hole in my pontoon. That's not good. We'll have to figure out what to do about that. Looks like we just need a little weld job. That sucks. Good news is I think that's going to be a simple thing. We just haul it to a welder and have them weld up the hole. This happens every once in a while. It's very important to make sure that you maintain your stuff, especially stuff that's going to be out on the water. Don't want it to sink. So it's going to leak water all the way home. It's leaking right now. It's been on the trailer now for probably 10 minutes. Definitely has a lot of water in it. So we'll see how long it leaks. Other than that, guys, we had a great time here at Mistletoe State Park. What an awesome place to celebrate my 5-year anniversary of Kemp Outside, which is tomorrow, March 24th. So this video will come out a little bit after that. But what an awesome place. I love it. I think I'm going to make this like an annual or semi-annual thing where I come here for a week and fish and camp. I just love it here. But guys, if you enjoyed the video, give me a thumbs up, hit that subscribe, ring that little bell icon that notifies you when we release new videos. We have this gear giveaway going on, guys, to celebrate our 5-year anniversary. So if you haven't seen that, click right up here. All the ways to enter to win. We're giving away $1,800 worth of outdoor gear, camping gear, fishing gear, outdoor gear, awesome, awesome stuff. So be sure to enter. Guys, if you come across this video after that giveaway ends, well, I'm sorry, but I do give gear giveaways from time to time, so stay tuned because you might win some awesome stuff later down the road. I'm probably going to do another gear giveaway when I hit 10,000 subscribers, so help me get there as well. Guys, if you have any questions at all, drop some in the comments below about, you know, Mistletoe State Park or camping or boating or pontoon boats or whatever, anything. We'd love to answer it. Or you can connect with us on our other social media. We're on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, and X, or our website at kempoutside.com. I would love to tell you that this video was sponsored by Yamaha, but it wasn't. I just love my Yamaha outboard. So anyway, shout out to Yamaha Marine. Guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for being here for 5 years. Or if this is your first video, thanks for being here anyway. Stay tuned, stick around, camp out with us. We'll see you next time. it.